Hello everyone, Pastor Billy here, and I'm here today with my friend Kevin Smith. Kevin's one of our elders here at Cornerstone. We've got a Praying Life prayer seminar coming up in a couple weeks here, and we just wanted to share why we are so excited for Cornerstone to have the opportunity to host this event. We've got details in the description of this video online. You do need to register, so we'll get that in. It's January 19, January 20, Friday night, and Saturday. And Kevin, I'm thankful that you took the lead in bringing this here. The seminar came out of, or at least it was in some way connected with this book by Paul Miller called A Praying Life. I've said this before. I've read a lot of books on prayer, and this is by far the best book on prayer that I think I've read, and I think that's a lot of the substance of what this seminar is. This really changed the way that I pray, and I'm excited for us at Cornerstone to get into that. Why are you excited for this seminar?
Yeah, I'm super excited too. Really, I discovered this book a couple years ago, and I was really driven to it in 22. Where I was going through a really hard time, and I was having some struggles, and I talked to a counselor who actually said to me, Kevin, you can't analyze your way out of this, because up until that moment, I was trying to dive deep into my problems on my own and try to analyze, what am I believing that's wrong? What am I not believing that's right? But what I was missing was I was relying on myself, and I was relying on my own analytics alone. Not that those are good things to do, but I wasn't really abiding in the Lord. I wasn't trusting in Him. And I came across this book, and it was really powerful for me because it showed me, it does a lot of heart work. It's about prayer, but it wasn't, it's more, that's what struck me. It's more about your heart, analyzing what are you trusting in? Who are you trusting in? And it revealed to me how much I was trusting in myself and my own abilities. And I wasn't desperate until that moment. And then God showed me through my struggles how desperate I was for Him.
Yeah. So there's some practical stuff. I imagine in the seminar in this book, but it's the heart posture of that. And I remember, and I'm sure we've got Cornerstone folks who are primarily watching this, but I remember you essentially shared your testimony when you gave a plug for this, and that phrase that you just repeated has stuck with me. There are certain things we just can't analyze. We can't just think our way out of our problems, and I think that's my posture too. I just want to give me the principles, let me think my way through, and this idea of prayer is there's things that I engage maybe only through prayer and discovering my dependence and I'll tell you one of the images from this book that has always stuck with me. He talks about the way that maybe I tend to view prayer as a spiritual discipline. It's just something that we do, and he said that's kind of like making prayer the windshield. And so you sit down to pray, and it's like you're just staring at the windshield. You're staring at the windshield, and he says, no. Like prayer is a means of kind of seeing beyond the windshield. Prayer is a means of connecting with my heart, learning my dependence, but connecting with the God who that's how I'm connecting with Jesus is through prayer, and that's why we're so eager to do this as a church.
Yeah, and I definitely see that too, and I can relate to that because going into this, I always have looked at prayer as a discipline, primarily a discipline. I just need to pray more. I need to pray more, and I struggle. Why do I struggle so much? And one of the principles I took away from this book too is that he says in there, we don't struggle to pray because we're not disciplined enough. We struggle to pray because we're not desperate enough. And that's where God, in 22, he really showed me how desperate I was. And that really, it was, and I love the title, it's a praying life. It's not just your prayer time or whatever, but it's how do we live in dependence on the Lord throughout our life, and prayer is a huge part of that, offering things up to prayer and feeling desperate for God. It's very freeing.
So obviously we're both very excited for this, very eager for this is material has been impactful for us, and we think it'll be very impactful for our church, and individually to engage in prayer, but just to we're praying that God would spark a movement of prayer here at Cornerstone through something like this. So more information online, January 19 and 20. This is open to, and we've invited other churches. We're putting the word out. We've got not Paul Miller coming, the author of this book, but another very good guy, and really looking forward to that. So mark your calendars, register, pray for our prayer event. And we'll see you January 19 and January 20.